Michael Phelps, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We are less than 100 days away from the Paris Olympics. This will be the second Summer Olympics since you retired. How are you feeling as the world gears up for Paris?
I'm excited. You know, for me, I think going into this Olympics, my mental state is way different than it was going into Tokyo. Just being removed from the Olympics in Tokyo, I kind of wanted to get back in there. This time around, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to cheer, and excited to watch these athletes be able to try to accomplish their lifetime goals and dreams, right? Like winning a gold medal is less than 1% of 1%, right? So to be able to have that opportunity is so special, and to be able to watch somebody again do that, it's a cool feeling.
Well, as spectators, we are all excited as well, but you know how it feels to be one of those athletes. You're less than 100 days away from trying to pursue that dream you've chased your entire life since you were a kid. What is your message to the athletes who are going to be competing in Paris?
I mean, right now, there's nothing you can really do different to prepare, right? Like, you're less than 100 days out. Just do what you know how to do. Right? It is the Olympic Games, sure, it's this massive, massive sporting event, but it's the same thing you've done your whole entire life, right? Like the lights might be brighter, but for us, the pool is the same temperature. The lane lines are the same width apart. We're competing against the same people we've competed against for the last how many years, right? Just get up and be you. I'll say for the American team, I will be over there, but I know they will have a country filled with people screaming their hearts out, hoping we take as many medals as we can, and our athletes represent our country the best way possible.
How does it feel to you to be a spectator and a commentator and to not be in the fight and in the game and in the pool yourself?
I think it's a little different nowadays. For me now going into this Olympics, I think I'm okay with everything that happened in the past. And I'm ready to kind of just move on from my swimming career. I think, again, having the chance to be in the stands is way different than being on the pool deck. In Tokyo, I wanted to be down there, right? I miss just that feeling of walking out on the pool deck and wearing the stars and stripes and hearing a national anthem play. Like, all of those things are memories that I'll have forever. But I'm, again, looking forward to being on the other side, being able to commentate, being able to watch, and hopefully, I don't know, give some tidbits on what I see throughout the Olympics.
I know you're saying you have some distance from Tokyo and that feeling of maybe wanting to get back in it, but as we get closer to the games, do you ever have that little itch of, oh, it would be good to have one more race?
No, it's the easiest way to say it, just because now with 4 kids and honestly looking back at throughout my career, there's nothing else to do. There's no passion inside here of that's burning to get me out of bed to do it one more time. And I know at my old age, I say old age, I'll be 39 this year, it'll take 5 years for me to really get back. I think the whole process of physically and mentally preparing for an Olympic Games is challenging. So for me to be able to give myself the best chance to be able to perform how I would want to, it would take 5 years.
So do you rule out ever going back again?
There's nothing inside of me that wants to go back right now.
You're not coming off the sidelines out of retirement?
I've done it once. I'm not doing it. Okay. I'm not going down that way again.
All right. Well, let's talk about your life post your Olympic career. You have dedicated so much time to advocating for, to speaking out about mental health, your mental health, the importance of getting help if you are struggling. Before we dive into your advocacy, how are you doing right now, Michael?
I'm good. Obviously, I have my days like everyone does, right? We go through ups and downs, and that's just life. I feel like I have more tools now to prepare me through the bumps or the roller coasters, like I call them, that I go through in my life. I'm enjoying it, right? Like, being retired again and being able to talk about mental health, which is something that, personally I struggle with almost every single day, and depression and anxiety aren't just going to disappear, right? These are things that I have to adapt, and I have adapted throughout my life, and they are a part of my life. They're always going to be a part of my life. So it's finding the best way every single day to be the best version of me.
You just said something really powerful, which is that you still struggle with depression
Sure.
and anxiety every day.
Yeah, I mean, there are times. I mean, there are 10-day spells where every day is a struggle. But for me, it's what can I control in that moment, right? Like, okay, I'm not feeling the best. How can I get to some level where I can be a good dad? I can be a good husband. I can be a good friend. Like not just sit in a corner like I feel and curl up into a ball, right? Like for me, I guess I've found ways to kind of get myself out of that zone. You can turn the channel on the TV, like your head, your brain, like think about something different, right? Turn the dimness or the brightness up or down, right? So different ways to think about it. For me, I jump in a cold plunge in the morning, right? For me, the chili goat is something that I get in every single day, no matter what. Like I was shooting last night for a sponsor. This morning, the kids are up. They're up at 5:30. I'm the morning guy, right? I get them breakfast, get them fed out the door. So I have to be up and I have to be ready. That's something for me that allows me to be in the moment, right? So the self-care that I do for myself every single day allow me to be me when I don't always want to be me, right? So yeah, there are days where I do want to curl up and I want to just hide, but I have to be so much different and I have to be somebody different and better than that. And I know I can, again, through the work that I've done, the process of finding more about me and learning why I work every single way, why I work every single day the way that I do. It was a process and it was hard, but I'm better now, right? Like for me, throughout my career, I looked at myself as a swimmer and an athlete. Now I can look in a mirror and see a person, somebody that has feelings and emotions. So yeah, it's one day at a time. Like again, I try not to future trip. I try not to play in the past. If I am playing in the past, I'm trying to figure out why I'm going through my ups and downs. So for me, I journal a ton. I can go back and see why I had this day, why I had that day. So I talk so much, so just tell me to stop, please.
Don't, please, talk as long as, I'm here for as long as you are, so there is no rush. I do think it's striking to hear you say you saw yourself as a swimmer,
Sure.
as an Olympian, not necessarily as a person. When did you first realize you were really struggling with depression?
I would say probably 2004. 2004 was my first taste of post-Olympic depression. Coming off such a high, and it's basically you get to like the edge of the cliff, and you're like, cool, now what? Oh, I guess I got to wait 4 more years to have the chance to do it again, right? So, and for those who don't have a successful Olympics, those 4 years can feel like an absolute eternity. So for me, 2004 is my first, 2008 was my second taste of post-Olympic depression. Because coming off of that high after doing something you set out to do your whole entire life, right? Like my goal was to do something no one else had ever done before. And I did it by the age of 19, 20 years old.
Well, and I read that when you experienced that post-
Sorry, 23 years old. I was 23 years old.
23.
So
I read that when you experienced that post-Olympic depression, you pushed it down.
yeah,
You ignored it
sure.
at first.
Yeah.
Did you know it was depression, or did you just think I'm feeling a little off?
I think at that point, like I'll say as a male athlete, like I could tell something was off. But I think I saw it as a sign of weakness, and if I shared anything about it, then it would give my competitors an edge. And I'm not trying to do that, right? Like I don't want to give my competitors an edge. I'm trying to be better than anybody, period, has ever been. So for me, I looked at it as weakness. So for me, I had to learn that vulnerability is a good thing. And it was scary at first, but I learned that vulnerability just means change. And for me, it was a great change.
You are the most decorated Olympian. You accomplished everything you set out to, and obviously you talk about this in your documentary, The Weight of Gold. But how much did that contribute to your depression, the pressure you felt to beat your own records?
No,
that you
but I
had
think
set?
to that point, I think I put pressure on myself that no other human on the planet possibly could. Because I wanted to do something, again, no one has ever done.
And you did.
So, correct. But for me, I had to approach it like no one else has. There's no blueprint to anything that I did, right? It was all trial and error. So I had to play with certain things, and if I opened up, maybe it would have been different. Maybe it would have been better. Maybe it would have been worse. But I think when I look back at when I opened up in 2014 after coming out of treatment, it happened for a reason. right? At the right time, at the right place. Whatever the reporter asked me that day when we were doing our piece for SI, I don't remember what the question was, but I guess it just made me feel calm and safe. And it allowed me to open up and just show who I was. And I think at that point forward, I've never looked back. I think for me, you saw somebody, I think throughout my career, I was put up as this American's icon, this perfect poster boy, everything perfect. No, that's not the case. I'm human, and we know in life nothing is perfect. So I went through ups and downs, and I did it in the public eye. The ups and downs that I went through in my life were in the public eye. So I had to deal with that, plus deal with my own stuff. So the only thing I knew how to do at that point was to compartmentalize. Like if I think back to my mom and her parents and their parents' parents, they taught them to shove it down and pretend like everything is okay when inside it might not be. And that's not a knock on my parents, on my mom, by any means.
It was the culture at the time.
Correct.
People weren't talking
Correct.
about mental
So
health.
for me, like, this is a time where we have to make a generational shift, right? We have to show when we're not doing very well, right? Like for me in my household, when I'm having a bad day, my kids see me cry. My kids see me scream. They see me just breaking down. And they understand what's going on. So for me, I've implemented, when I say scream, it's not like, this is why. So when I say scream, it means we implemented this thing called the lion breath. So the lion breath is deep breath, and you get to roar as loud as you can. And sometimes in those moments when you scream as loud as you can, you're able to drop your shoulders, take a deep breath, and talk about what you're feeling and what you're going through. And for me, communicating is something that I think is super important. I learned very much later in life than I would have liked to, but I got there. So I think for me, it's trying to teach them to communicate these things, not compartmentalize like I did for 2 decades.
And I want to talk about the ways in which you are parenting and teaching your kids about mental health. But I do want to go back to that moment in 2014
Sure.
that you raised
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you got a DUI.
Yeah.
You've spoken about this quite extensively. You say you were effectively locked in a room for 4 days.
Yeah, 3-4 days.
You had suicidal thoughts. Your family did rally around you. How did you find the strength to get help in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think in that moment for me, there's a lot of shame. And I just didn't want to really, I had the thought of it was me that was putting my family through all of this stress and all of this. And I was just like, okay, maybe it's better if I just leave. And at the time, I was prescribed Ambien from our doctors on our team trips. And I was happy I only had three pills left. I took them all that night, and I woke up the next morning, and I didn't eat anything, drink anything for 2 or 3 days. And after those 2 or 3 days, I didn't really want to talk to anybody, didn't want to see anybody. It was kind of just to the point where I knew I needed help, right? The thoughts that I was having were too much, and they were overwhelming, and they were scary. So for me, I couldn't go through life anymore, one, not sharing those, but two, not facing them, not talking about it, really just diving deep into me and figuring out why I am who I am. Why do I struggle so much? Why do I go through these ups and downs and these swings? So for me at that point, I just checked myself into a treatment center.
For 45 days?
45 days.
What happened in those 45 days that made you stronger?
Yeah, I basically got ripped apart. And I say that in imagine a motherboard of a computer, and you just take everything apart. You just kind of rebuild and talk about whether it's, my childhood, things that I'm having difficulty times with, good things, and kind of just piecing it all back together. For me, there were a lot of things I never wanted to talk about. And a lot of that was, maybe it was my upbringing, maybe it was my father, maybe it was other things that I'm struggling with that I just was embarrassed of. So for me, it was just facing those things. Went through this thing called Family Week that, you basically sat in a room like this and a chair like this, and there was a box of tissues here. And for an hour each day, I'd say I went through a box of tissues. You just cry everything out. And for me, I think when I left the Meadows, I had a better understanding on how to attack life and how to approach life. Almost in the sense of what can you control? right? Like, I think that's kind of why that is such a big, important word in my life now. What can I control every single day? You know, right? There's so much that's out of our control. So if we can focus on what we can control, then naturally everything else just takes care of itself.
You've talked about depression being part of why you needed to seek treatment. Sure. Was the use of substances a part of that as well?
I mean, I would say for me, the substances that I was using was a run for just for help, or a cry for help. You know, I think that was a part of the not knowing who to talk to and not knowing which way to turn. You know, like, again, like, it was 15, 20 years of stuff just built up, and the only thing I could do is run. And that's when I, again, compartmentalizing. It's not healthy. I could have won more gold medals there, but those aren't ones to be proud of.
But you emerged stronger, not just emotionally, but as a competitor.
Yeah.
As
I mean,
well.
Look, like, I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to have everything I have. So I'm going to go down swinging no matter what. Like, I just had a conversation with, well, I might get choked up here. I just had a conversation with a buddy of mine the other day.
Take your time, it's okay.
So for me, this is all fresh. So a friend of mine, he's my mental health buddy, and he knows who I'm talking about. I'll just say it. Okay, so Jay Glazer and I we're mental health buddies. We both struggle, or Jay Glazer and I are both mental health buddies, and when we're both having our bad days, we go through similar ups and downs, and we do similar things when we're down, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And we both had this conversation the other day, because when it happens, for me, I reach out to him. When it happens for him, he reached out to me. And I have a couple friendships like that where we've kind of really been able to form a bond. And to what we were saying before is, I literally sent a text to him and I was like, I'm never quitting, ever in my life. Like, that's not who I am. So on those days where you feel like this, you want to cry, or you're having a hard day, or it's emotional, or whatever it is, you can get through it. I mean, this is me, right? Like, I go through these ups and downs all the time. So I know that tomorrow is here. And I know I'm going to learn something from today that'll help me be better tomorrow. So for me, that's just how I've always been. I learn from my past. You know, whether it's a mistake, whether it's a learning experience, whatever it might be, however you look at it, the past is supposed to help you for the future. And for me, the journey that I've been on has allowed me to see myself in the mirror and like myself for who I am.
And you called him because you were having a tough day?
I think, like, naturally, I think I had reached out to him earlier in the week, and we kind of went back and forth, and he just sent me a long message, and I remember I just sent him a selfie in the gym, and I was like, I'm gonna put this thing up in here today. Like I get really intense when I'm in the weight room, because like that's kind of my escape. Like, I get in the workout room, or in our gym every single day to allow me to be me, and I knew that he would know what that selfie meant, me in the gym. So he was like, yes, you're gonna go rock it out, I love it. And that's when I was like, I'm not a quitter. Like, yeah, like the last week was really hard for me. But it's just another week, right? Like, it's something that I go through to give me a chance to be a better version of me.
When you say I'm not a quitter, you mean you're not quitting?
Anything. I won't quit anything. I will never give up at anything that, you know, there are so many goals of mine that I have and want to accomplish. And no matter how hard it gets, I'm never giving up. There's a reason why I was able to win 23 Olympic gold medals, right? So I'm determined, I'm stubborn, a laundry list of things. I just don't give up.
What is the goal that you have now, and within the context of that conversation?
I mean, honestly, it's trying to save as many people as we possibly can. You know, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people struggle with some kind of mental health, and how come 1 in 4 or 5 people aren't talking about it? Like, that's a serious problem. You know, for me, I see the suicide rate continue to go up. We wonder why.
Including some of your past Olympians.
Correct, including my Olympic family. we have to do something to stop it. We have to work together. You know, for me, you know, through the start of this journey, I thought I was alone on top of the mountain the whole way through, and nobody was there with me. And I was just screaming as loud as I could, and nobody was listening. I have some friends up there with me. I need some more. So for me, the only thing I would say is I'm asking everybody to help, right? Like, if you are struggling, open up. Find somebody you can confide in, and just open up. You know, these things are important. We want to be the best version of us. Give yourself the best chance to be the best version of us.
Well, in sharing your story, you have given so many other people strength and hope, and you and your fellow Olympians did that in the documentary, The Weight of Gold.
Yeah.
You talk about in that documentary that you wouldn't do anything differently necessarily. This is who you are.
Yeah.
Do you wish you'd known something at that time as a young man?
Honestly, like, every single thing I've gone through, whether it's the DUIs or depression, suicide, anxiety, whatever it is, it's who I am. I wouldn't change a single bit of it. Again, because I can look in the mirror and like who I see, no matter what.
You talk about reaching out to your friend, Jay Glazer, when you're having a tough moment. What are the other ways that you cope, that you actively try to keep yourself healthy right now?
I mean, self-care obviously is so important. So, and that is a laundry list of things, right? Like, you can work out, you can take a walk, you can meditate, you can journal, you can find a therapist. I mean, there's 1,000 different things, but whatever you need to be the best version of you, you have to do that every day. Like, for me, the best version of me has to get in and has to sweat every single day. I need to sweat. I have to go work out.
Every day?
Every day. Yeah, something active. If not, I just feel blah. Like, I mean, you think like 25 years of doing something every single day, swimming nonstop. Like, it's a part of who I am, right? Like, my ADD is never gonna go. Like, it's just, I'm always on the go, I'm always moving, I never stop. So yeah, I have to work out. I journal on difficult days. Obviously, I have a therapist, live therapist. I have an online therapist I can go to. But I think, like, anything that allows you to be the best version of you is something you have to do. You know, for me, my wife always says, if my glass isn't full, how am I gonna fill up everyone else's, right? So it's true.
What is your advice, Michael, to someone who is watching this, who's struggling, who feels alone, who doesn't feel like they have the strength or community to help them?
I would say, one, reach out to a loved one that you can trust. You know, and I would say, again, also, one, reach out to somebody you can trust. Two, I would say you're not alone, like, without question. You know, there are times, even though I have a Rolodex of people I can reach out to, there are times where I feel like I'm all alone. Still, yeah. I mean, it's those days, but I still know that I'm like, all right, pick up the phone. Who can I call? Like, just go through and make a phone call. I just had a brain fart. You said people watching.
Your advice to them, and I think you said, reach out to someone you love.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, you know, besides reaching out to somebody you love, I think it's really just being yourself. Like, my bracelets, both of these say be you. One of them's kind of faded, so my friend made me another one. So, and I wear these every day because that's who I am. If I'm struggling, you're gonna see it. And sometimes I'll be up, sometimes I'll be down, but it's just what's going on that day, right? So, but I think the best piece of advice is just be your authentic self. There's no other way we should be. We're all so special in our own ways, and we all offer something special to this world. So if we're trying to be somebody difficult, then, or excuse me, if we're trying to be somebody different, then we're not doing our best self, or excuse me, if we're trying to be somebody different, then what are we really doing every day? Like, you're cheating at life, right? Like, for me, again, like, yes, I struggle with depression and anxiety. That's who I am, right? Like, it's not gonna go away. So I'm owning it and I'm moving on, right? Like, I have certain things that I try to do to change or to help or do this or that, but it's who I am. I'm not changing it. I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody different.
You could have done anything with your post-Olympic career. You have chosen to make advocacy a centerpiece of your life.
I'm lucky.
Why is it important for you
Honestly,
to be an advocate?
I'm lucky. Honestly, like this is something that, as you've heard and seen, like I struggle with. And I know there are people out there that are struggling with the same exact thing. And for me, I just want to help people because I know exactly what it feels like to not want to be alive. And I know what it feels like to feel like no one loves you and no one cares about you and whatever else you want to say, right? So for me, I want to give somebody a chance. That's it.
The U.S. Olympic Committee has said that it has made advances, particularly in the wake of your speaking out, other athletes speaking out. How do you assess the changes that the U.S. Olympic Committee has made? Has the committee gone far enough? What do you want to see happen that hasn't happened?
There needs to be more. Flat out. The ABC organizations have done some steps in the right direction to get help and care that us as athletes need, but they're not doing everything they can, and that upsets me.
What do you want to see them do specifically?
I want to see them put the athletes first. That's it. Nothing else to say.
And that means providing better mental health care?
It's everything. The athletes need to be first.
And you didn't feel that way when you were an Olympian?
I walked into training rooms at the USOC and couldn't get care. This is 6 months before the 2008 Olympic Games.
You were denied care?
I was denied anything. I couldn't get access. No physical trainer would help me. So if that's happening with me, it's happening with others too. So if we're supposed to be these athletes that are representing our country, then put the athletes first.
If one of the representatives of the Olympic Committee were sitting here instead of me, what would you say to them?
Nothing that can be recorded. There's just a lot of emotions there. There's so much passion for me, and I want what's right. Period. That's all. And I won't stop until everything is done that I think needs to be done.
And to people who are elected officials, do you want to see not just the Olympic Committee, but people in positions of power? Do you think there should be more discussion? Do you think elected officials should highlight mental health more?
I think you're seeing a shift in just a political front with speaking out about mental health, right? Like, if you go 10 years back, you're never going to see a front headline talking about mental health. Now it's a crisis, right? So it's something that has obviously gotten people's attention, and it's something we need to talk about. So we have to continue furthering this conversation, and if we don't, then we're going to end up doing the same exact thing and repeating history like we've always done.
One of the things that has been a part of this conversation as it relates to mental health, particularly with young people, and you've talked about that, is the impact of social media.
Sure.
How concerned are you, particularly as a dad, as an advocate, about the impact of social media? What are your biggest concerns there?
I mean, my house and with the kids, Nicole and I are very open. So we talk about anything and everything around our kids. Again, it's back to that word control. What can you control? For me, whenever I'm posting on social media, I try not to read any of these comments, because some of the comments can be brutal. I've had death threats towards my family, towards my kids. Like, really? Like, it's ridiculous and it's crazy to see. But again, what can you control? And for me, when I'm on social media, I try to show you what I'm going through in my life, whether it's good or bad. That's how I always view social media. You're seeing the best version of who I am and the real version of who I am. That's how I'll always be on social media.
Are you able to block it out?
I've gone through enough dealing with it that it doesn't affect me. It's just, people are people, right? You can't control what they do or what they say.
It's fascinating that we have seen Olympic athletes in the wake of your speaking out, Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, publicly talk about their struggles with mental health. I know you are saying there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but do you feel like the tide is starting to turn a little bit, that the stigma of talking about mental
For sure.
health is
I mean,
starting
I think
to
from
come
an
down.
athlete standpoint, you know, when you think about what mental health has really done in the last 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, it's incredible, right? Because people have actually used their voice and been able to share their own story. So yeah, I think it's awesome, right? I think we need more of it, right? That's the only way we're going to normalize it. You know, and all of our stories are different, yet they're similar in a lot of different ways. So, you know, when you had Naomi Osaka open up on her own platform, to me, I thought that was so powerful, right? She was able to formulate exactly what she was going through and putting it into words, right? Sharing that with everybody who wants to see. And it's not easy to do. You know, you see Simone Biles showed up at the worst possible moment, right? You know, and I think that just shows you that mental health can come and go at any given moment. So if you're not fully prepared for it, you never know what's going to happen, right? So it's preparation is so important in those moments. But again, like I think it's so important and powerful when you have these athletes, these celebrities, political figures, whoever it might be, stand up and talk about their own personal struggles. Because if they do that, then the people working around them, the people that are in their lives, see it as something normal. And they can drop their shoulders and they can talk about it too. But until that happens, the suicide rate is going to continue to climb.
You are a father of 4, as you've talked about, and you have made talking about mental health, being honest and open with your emotions, a part of how you parent.
Sure.
Why is that important, and how do you do that? How do you? I know you have dinner every night at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
which is an important piece of it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, for me growing up, my dad was never around, right? So for me, like, I want something different in my household. So, you know, dinner is very important and you know, our schedule and all of this stuff. And like just trying to teach kids little small important tools that are going to help them go through life, right? And for me, it's like, as long as I can just give them something, then they're going to be the best version of them, right? Like, I don't know how to answer that.
Well, as a dad to 4 boys, as much as there's a stigma about mental health, there's also a stigma about boys have to be tough. You're teaching your boys to share their emotions.
But I think, like, you know, yes, 100%. Like, my boys see my emotions. They see my raw emotions all the time. But also, I think you see the younger generations are more open and more willing to speak about what they're going through, right? So I think it's something that the older generations, us and older, should really learn from, right? Like, there's no fear. They're opening up and being able to be just who they are. So, I mean, I'll end with this, and just by saying that, you know, this mental health month, I want everybody to challenge themselves. If they're going through some kind of struggle, open up. Find somebody you can talk to. Write your stuff down. Whatever it is, whatever you're going through that you're feeling is difficult, a struggle, can't happen, like you can't live another day, I'm challenging you to get those feelings out of your body somehow. Write them down, talk to somebody, do something, and see how you feel. Do it for 1 whole month. That's it. 30 days to create a habit. You do it for a month. I want to hear how people feel.
It's a great message for Mental Health Month. You have started the Michael Phelps organization. It is aimed at promoting healthy, safe swimming, helping to prevent childhood deaths from drowning. What is your ultimate goal with that organization, and how does that fit into your broader mental health messaging?
I mean, for me, I started the foundation back in 2008. I was gifted a $1 million bonus from an old sponsor, and I instantly wanted to teach the importance of water safety, and that was in fact the only reason why I ever started swimming. My mom just wanted us to be water safe. So, you know, for me, I learned that drowning was the 2nd highest cause of death for children under the age of 14. So now, being a dad of 4 boys, that's alarming. So I wanted to try to impact as many people as I could, just to have them be safe, enjoy the water, right? It's something that we can all love and just have a good time around. And then we transitioned and added a separate component of mental health. You know, being able to open up and teach kids the importance of the 8 basic emotions, right? Being able to just communicate. I think it's something that's so important. And being able to give them a couple tools that they're able to go on this journey together. Go on this lifelong journey of challenging life, right? Trying to conquer life.
And you have accomplished so much in terms of changing the conversation in this space. What is next for you?
Same thing. continue on trying to lower the stigma in mental health, lower the suicide rate, be a dad. I don't know. There are some goals that I have, but I think everything around mental health is really what keeps me up at night and gets me excited to get out of bed every single day, right? Like, it's the same exact thing that it was when I was swimming. Right? Like, these things are the reason for me to be here. Like, there are so many people that need help, and I want to help as many of them as I possibly can. Like, that's who I am, that's what I'm going to do.
And just finally, as we all get ready to watch the Olympics, there's so much pain right now all over the world. Do you see the Olympics as a moment that can help bring people together?
That was something as a competitor I always saw, right? Like, every 4 years we have the presidential race, right? Like, and it's always kind of a crazy time. But, I always think that no matter what's going on, whether it's in the US or all over the globe, the Olympics is something that brings everybody together. The spirit of the Olympic Games is so magical, and for me, it's just something that I can't imagine life without. This summer is going to be an incredible opportunity to have Paris really show what that city is all about, right? Some of these iconic venues and these iconic venues and these amazing pools, volleyball courts, whatever it might be that you're going to have, right? And to be able to play beach volleyball under the Eiffel Tower, right? Like, all of these things, like, I just have these just visions in my head of this summer's games, and nothing but happiness. For me, that's what I feel around the Olympic Games, and I can't wait to get to Paris.
You're really excited.
I am. I mean, it's our household's a sports household, so being able to see the world's best compete is something that's always exciting.
And just last question. I know you've talked about the fact that you don't necessarily hope for your boys to be Olympians because all that goes into that. But what do you hope your boys learn from everything that you accomplished, your journey?
Hard work, dedication, passion, never giving up, small things. They kind of have an idea of who I am now, I think, based off of their friends. And I had a kid, one of my sons, bring a book of me home from the school library. So, it was kind of funny. But
how did that feel?
Old, made me feel really old. But I think for me, as long as I can help them find something that they can put everything into and just give it all. My oldest said, I think this is the only one I've gotten an answer out of. He said he wants to be the next Messi. And I said, why? And he says, because he scores a lot of goals. I was like, okay. We got to work on other things besides just scoring goals, bud. But for me, just watching a kid have a dream and chase it, right? Like, that's what I think of. Just some kid from Baltimore who wasn't afraid to go after everything he dreamt of. With people telling you that it's not possible or this, that, or the other, just never giving up on something you believe is possible.
Michael Phelps, thank you so much.
For sure.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.